To take a look at our YouTube channel's analytics from YouTube Studio, we're just going to click on the Analytics link on the left side of the page. The screen that appears is the Analytics Overview screen, where we can get a bird's eye view at some of the most important metrics on our YouTube channel. Right from this page towards the top, we can see how many views we've had for the last 28 days. We can also see our watch time from the last 28 days, the number of subscribers that we've gained, and if we'd earned any revenue, it would also appear up here towards the top. Now, if we scroll down the page a little bit, you can also see that our top videos are listed. We can even see some real-time activities. So if there was anybody watching our videos at the current time, we would see those numbers come in. Now let's scroll back up here a little bit, because I mentioned earlier that we're viewing data for the last 28 days. That's what we see by default, but you'll notice that up towards the top right, there's a drop down that allows us to change our date range. So instead of viewing data for the last 28 days, we could view data for the entire lifetime of our YouTube channel, just this week, last week, or really any range we want, because at the very bottom, we can choose a custom date range to view data from. Now, we're looking at the account that we've set up during this course, and we don't have much data in here right now. But in a minute, I'm going to bring you over to one of my live accounts where we have a lot of data so that we can see what it looks like with a fully fledged YouTube channel. First, however, I'd like to mention that on the top of this analytics screen, there are 4 different tabs. The first one is the Overview tab, which we've talked about. The second one is the Reach tab. This is where we can see where all of our traffic is coming from. So we can see some important metrics at the top, like our impressions and views. But if we scroll down a little bit, we can see our traffic sources. So we can see if people are coming from YouTube search or if they're coming from someplace else on YouTube. So as you start to get more videos uploaded and your data really starts to roll in, you might be able to identify where your most important traffic sources are so you can really focus on them. Now the next tab is the Engagement tab. And this is where we can see how people are engaging with elements of our videos. So we can see if our playlists are getting watched, if people are clicking on our cards that we've put in our videos, on our end screen, all that sort of thing. So this is where you can see all of your engagement statistics. And then the last tab is the Audience tab, and this is where we can gain some demographic information about our audience. Now we do need to have enough data in here for it to show up, but you'll notice that we would be able to see potentially the gender of our audience, the countries that they're coming from, and the age of our viewers. It's also important to note that if we go back to the Overview page here, notice where it says Top Videos. We could actually click on one of these videos, or we could search for a video up here at the very top, and then we can view data specifically for that video. And you can scroll down and you can see that there is all sorts of data in here as well. You can change your date range just like we did in the overview section, and we can also look at the different tabs like we did when we were looking at our channel as a whole, but this time it would just be for this particular video. But for now, let's switch over to one of my live YouTube accounts so we can take a look at what the overview page looks like on an account that has more data inside of it. So here I am on my YouTube channel's analytic overview page, and as we can see, we have a lot more data in here, and the information is starting to look a lot more accurate. First of all, I want to mention that where we see our views, our watch time, and our subscribers, notice that we have some arrows underneath those areas, and that tells us how we're trending in that particular metric. So we always want to be trending upwards. We want to be getting more views, more watch time, and more subscribers. So that's always a good idea to keep an eye on those areas so you can really manage where your YouTube channel is headed in the future. If we scroll down a little bit, we'll be able to see some of our top videos. There you can see the real-time activity that I spoke about. So I just thought it might help to see the analytics page in a YouTube account that has more videos and more data so that you can see what it looks like when it's fully fledged out. Remember, once you upload content to your YouTube channel, come on over here to the Analytics Overview section and try to gauge which content is most successful. You can figure out why it's being most successful so that you can try and reproduce that in the future on your YouTube channel.